The strap with a loop needs to be small, and it's loose on my foot. It is not terribly tight, but I want to stand with the foot in the strap. And the outside leg has the loop. It is the front leg. I'm going to step back into my warrior one. The front knee is bent, the back leg is straight. And as I let the tail dangle around away from me so it's not in the way, I have the strap not any higher than shoulder height. So some folks would find that they want the strap to be a little lower, and then you can go as high as shoulder height, but today we're not going to go past that. So when we lift to shoulder height, we are affecting the strengthening pattern of this umbrella style muscle that sits on top of the shoulder called the deltoid. And it is responsible for lifting the weight of the arm, one of the muscles responsible. So as you draw up, as you lift, just notice the engagement of the entire arm reacting to the strap. And then take that arm down and back and press back. So we have opposing action. And right now, as you're standing, facing the front of your mat, one hand at the chair and the other pressing the strap back behind, both arms are slightly back and they have this chest opening effect. Wonderful. We're going to navigate turning to the side and going back to the arm lifting up. So I want to turn and come into a warrior two. I'm facing the chair and I'm lifting my arm again to the height of the shoulder. And what that looks like from the front is this. And the other hand can be on the chair. Yeah? And the front hand can be lower. It doesn't have to be as high, but we're back to lifting. And when we are turned to the side, then we have involved a little bit more of these anterior muscles at the shoulder, and you might feel that. The hand at the chair can bear down. Very nice. And then we're going to switch. If you will, please, take the strap into the other hand. And slide your hand so it goes back across the body. And decide if you're going to lift the front arm or if it's had enough and you're just going to rest it. But what is going on now is this. And again, this arm doesn't have to be as high. It can be down and back. And what I want you to notice is what's happening in the front arm. Yes, it might be a little bit tired, but remember the strap, right? The engagement of the entire arm. Let the muscles hug the bone. Wonderful. And release as you take the strap back in the bent knee hand, put the other hand back at the chair, and then remove the strap from the foot and walk your feet in. We will get to that on the other side. In the meantime, I want us to put the other foot in the loop and to stand facing forward. At first, I'm going to place my foot in the seat of the chair. And it might be that getting to the seat of the chair is too much. So having the block handy, you can put the block tall and place your foot on it and have all of the elements of the tree pose that we're going to practice. When you choose the right height, and some of you may decide that you really want to put your foot on the block in the chair, then we need to adjust the strap. And I want to take the strap in hand behind the knee, behind the hip, and pass it to the opposite arm, holding as close as possible. So I'm walking my hand along the strap to get as far across as possible. And this way I get some stretch. I get to traction the front of the shoulder. The standing leg bears down. And while the free hand holds on to the back of the chair, we're going to give attention first to what happens in the legs. I want to pull the legs toward each other, this beautiful tree pose that tells us the roots are what ground us. So the legs are on a little bit more than typical. Keep drawing legs toward each other, pushing legs into the floor. And if we were to stay here and do nothing more, this is great work all by itself. If you feel from the grounding aspect, the freedom to reach that free arm and reach up, please do. So the hand at the strap that tugs a little bit, it helps to ground the legs. The leg that is looped in reacts by pushing down a little bit more. And then when I asked you to pull the legs toward each other, it added value. Very nice. Let's stay one more breath. And then we will step down. Interesting how when we add the work of the strap, we can add some significant isometric work. When you're ready, we will do all of that on the other side, but we're going to do it in the reverse. So we're going to move the chair. You're welcome to simply turn around as long as you can hold on to the chair and as long as you can put your foot in a similar place. So I put the loop on the inside foot. I am going to step into the chair. Remember the block as an option below or in the chair. And the strap goes to the outer knee, around the outside and behind. And I take the outside arm behind me to catch it. And I want you to keep walking your hand as far as you can to catch the strap. Very good. Bear down and begin to pull the legs toward each other. And as you do, notice the hand at the chair. It can push down and it can give us the primary action in this pose, which is lifting the ribs away from the pelvis. The legs are truly on. We are strengthening external rotation. And if you need to back off in any way, do. One interesting way to back off is to not have the leg turned out as much, meaning that you could stand slightly back, yeah, or have the chair already set up more in front of you. There's always the way to make it unique to your needs, what makes it better for you. And if you want to reach out to me and ask, I am happy to help with that. And if I don't know, I am ready to find out. So now, lifting the arm and reaching out, pulling the legs toward each other and finding how the grounding aspect allows that sense of lift. Stay one more breath. And slowly come out of it. You're always welcome to stay longer and build time and awareness and understanding. So now the loop goes to the outside leg. And we're going to step forward into warrior one. I'm taking this big giant step to the front. The other leg is behind me. And as I drop the tail of the strap somewhere to the side so it's not underneath, I want to slide the arm up any amount, no higher than the height of the shoulder. The front knee stays bent, the back leg is straight, the legs bear down, and we have this sense of lift. The back hand can push down into the chair, the front arm can lift, and it affects the lift of the rib cage. The top of the shoulder, these muscles that the big umbrella deltoid that you feel has the smaller rotator cuff muscles underneath it. So we want to train that bigger muscle to more of its job so that we don't impose on the smaller muscles if in fact we're not strong where we need to be. Whenever you pick up that bag of groceries or pour the milk or anything that requires that you lift something of considerable weight, this needs to be strong so the underlying muscles don't overdo. Very nice. Take the arm down and back. Then we are asking the back of the deltoid and the triceps and the muscles of the back of the shoulder to counterbalance, right, in their strength. Still, the legs are strong, firm into the floor. Still, both arms are on. Each has its job. And they're similar now. They lend to the broadening across the chest. As we become familiar with using the strap this way to add some isometric load, then we're going to incorporate some more ways to add resilience strength training. For example, lifting and lowering the back heel while we have the push into the chair. A lot of great work that is coming. Turn the back foot out, adjust your feet so that you have your warrior two. We are walking the tightrope. The back foot has a slightly pigeon-toed stance. The front foot kept its 90-degree turnout, and we're returning to how we're lifting the arm, tugging against the strap. So I appear actually this way in my body from a side view. And I could go a little higher, come to shoulder height, but keep it kind on your shoulder, come to a comfortable edge. And just know that while you have the security of the chair, the hand pushes down. If you were to choose to reach the arm away, you would find the grounding through the legs adding to that sense of security. And we want to do that now by taking the strap to the back hand. So I'm just making sure the tail stays from being underfoot. And I'm going to take my arm and slide it back. So as you stand and aim down and back, you can lift that arm any amount so that it assumes that same warrior two shape. In which case we want to remember for the front arm, oh, there was the lesson of the strap and I was lifting, so I want to engage these muscles and I want all the muscles to hug the bone. And a lot goes on here. The back arm is leading, the legs are firm to the floor, the wingspan is growing, and the shoulders are telling you, wow, we're doing a lot. Good work. And release. So as you hold on to the chair and remove the strap from under the foot, walk your feet in, toes and heels. As you come a little bit closer, if you will, keep this churn out position and let your feet press down and out while the inner thighs zip up and in. You can manage both. Right, so we're here and the legs are a little closer underneath us. But then as you bring the feet in, so you're standing with internal rotation, bear down and just feel the counterbalance. So we want to be strong in all those ways. I'm going to start now in the front of my chair. The block is going to be between my feet. And you'll have to decide whether the block is going to be narrow or wide. But as you pick up the inner edges of the feet, catch hold the block, roll the soles of the feet to the floor, send the arms forward, come and sit. Nice. Sit well back and release. Rest your hands comfortably in your lap. I'm going to use Jnana Mudra, the index finger and thumb tips together. And starting with that feeling open through the front body, connected to each other, you may wish to stay. Navigating the inner landscape is the encouragement of when we flip that mudra upside down and turn it palm down, it becomes known as chin mudra, and it helps guide our attention more inward. So here, I want you to feel the space around your heart. The spaciousness of your rib cage as you breathe slowly, elongating your breath. Feel the entire shape of your body where you are in space, from how your feet meet the floor, to the heaviness of your sitting bones, to the outline of your shoulders and knees, and to the energy around your head. There is incredible value in bringing the mind's attention to the body. It is how we can first feel ourselves. Sometimes that outermost layer is where we stay more in our attention, and that's okay, because it will guide that deepening of inner awareness. In yoga, we have the 5 koshas, and the layer underneath is the energy layer. How do I feel energetically in the body? And these layers are interwoven. You really can't have one without the other. So the layer underneath is the emotional layer. And it helps us understand how we navigate our energy, whether we are protecting emotion or allowing ourselves to wear our heart on our sleeve, or how we interact with the world based on where we are emotionally. The layer underneath is the intelligent, innate wisdom layer. That understanding of self that comes intuitively. That deep following of intuition that is the essence of how you feel that the right things are the ways of your actions. We can all remember times where we've acted against our intuition and it just didn't sit well with us and it affected everything. And that last layer is that true essence of us that we want to tap into, the moments of joy where everything aligns, when life unfolds and we tap in and we're really present to what is right in front. And so it's been described in so many ways, but we've all felt and connected to that deepest layer. And I want to bring your mind's eye to it. Remember a time where you held a grandchild for the first time, or met the person that you love so deeply for the first time and always, or gaze into your mother's eyes, or feel your father's hand holding yours. Those moments that just offer you a life-giving sense of being. So when we pay attention to the body, we keep reminding ourselves of these deeper layers and how to live by them and through them. There's so much more to it, but coming to our practice every time is what helps us stay strong for it. Bring your hands to your heart. I thank you for your presence, the energy between us, and the connections that bind us, that we are in this world together. Namaste.